Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to part 12 of the Formula 1 2014 career mode with Ferrari on the Xbox One. Today, it is time to start the second half of the season after the summer break in real life. And today, it is time for the Belgian Grand Prix, one of the highlights of the calendar, no question about that. What a fantastic historic track Spa is. I've been lucky enough to go here in real life, and it's a tremendous circuit, really nice woodland around it, and it's definitely one of a kind in the F1 calendar. Well, Spa contains a mix of fast corners and long straights set within picturesque woodland, and winning here requires a car with a strong bias towards high speed, aerodynamic efficiency in order to cope with the track's fast straights and corners. Changeable weather conditions may also play a part at any race in Spa, so be prepared to alter your strategy at a moment's notice. Now, to let you know, if you forgot in the last episode, it is forecast to rain on Saturday for qualifying in Belgium, so that'll make things very interesting in the race. As it's just said, things can change very quickly. But in the last race in Hungary, it all went to pot a little bit. We've been in good form, albeit inconsistent. We'd won 3 out of the last 6 races, is that right? Or 3 of the last, might have even been 3 out of the last 5. I think it was 3 out of the last 5. Yes, it was. We won Monaco, Austria and Germany. So we're on a run of winning 3 in the last 5 coming up to there. And then Hungary, Lewis Hamilton won the race. He has won 3 in the last 6. We've won the 3 in the last 6. And Nico Rosberg has not won for a long time. That is why, going into the summer break, Hamilton had a lead of 71 points on his teammate. Only 8 races to go. We've got a double points race in Abu Dhabi. So what's that? 9 races, 100 and... Is it, hang on, 225 points isn't it available? Unless I'm doing my maths terribly. Yes, 25 points each race, effectively. 9 races to go, obviously we're counting Abu Dhabi as 2. So 225, so Hamilton only needs roughly about 150 points to go and win the championship, which at this stage is absolutely crazy. But more to our situation, we have fell behind the 2 Red Bulls in the championship because we didn't score any points in the last race if you watched that race. So I recommend you go and watch it, maybe the start, not much afterwards. But Fernando retired on lap 2 with a problem. We couldn't get back in the points. We had a drive-through penalty from a collision with Sergio Perez, and neither of us finished in the points. However, Lewis Hamilton won the race. One of the Red Bulls got on the podium. Valtteri Bottas managed to take a podium. That's why he jumped all the way up from 9th to 7th in the standings. And Nico Rosberg finished down in 5th. So an absolute disaster for him. And the 2 Red Bulls have jumped back above us for 3rd in the championship, in the Drivers' Championship at least. And of course, Red Bull have got back up to 2nd. So a lot of ground for us to make up in this second half of the season. Hopefully we can start it here with the Belgian Grand Prix. Particularly in here at Monza, I think there is a chance for us to pounce. So, without any further ado, here we go for the second half of the Formula 1 season. Is it going to follow the same pattern of the last 6 races? Race 6, we won it. Hamilton won race 7, we won race 8. Hamilton won race 9, we won race 10. Hamilton won race 11. Race 12, I wonder what's going to happen. Anyway, it should be an exciting one. So here we go for qualifying for the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix. Just to update you on the teammate challenge before we head into qualifying. We are now ahead of Alonso on the outraced field, amazingly. We've won 3 races, and obviously Fernando retiring helped us out a lot in that last race. We've got 3 podiums compared to Fernando's 4, and on the out-qualified and fastest laps route, we need to improve. Fernando's got 7-4 in terms of the battle against us in out-qualifying us, and in fastest laps as well, but it is tipping it down here in Spa. It is going to improve throughout the qualifying sessions, as you can see. It's going to be probably wet conditions for Q2, and then probably intermediates, maybe even dries, who knows, for Q3. But yeah, let's see how we do. We should be able to get through Q1, but the wet conditions always throws up a little bit of a surprise. One of the things that this F1 game does very well, that I can't remember actually on any future F1 games, correct me if I'm wrong, look at the spray coming from Max Chilton's car. And when you get right behind him, the visibility is so low, apart from obviously the hood showing Max Chilton's name. If the hood wasn't there, there was an occasion earlier on in the lap where I genuinely didn't see the car of Nico Rosberg. Luckily, he got out of the way. But Max Chilton is starting to hold us up. I mean, look at that car in front. We can see it's there. But I just love the fact that we've got hardly any visibility. Real credit to this game for doing that. I don't know if that's a trade. Jesus!
Okay, back to the pits. Back to the pits. We've lost the front wing.
Well, I said earlier in the lap we didn't see someone. And we tried to get up the inside to get out of the way of that dirty air from Max Chilton. And we've gone into the back of Sebastian Vettel. Well, that is an absolute disaster. We're going to have to make our way back to the pits. That's a waste of a good 5 minutes of qualifying. Luckily, the front wings should just take a few minutes to repair. Hopefully no damage to the rest of the car. As you can see, it's chipped away at that little front winglet at the front there. So we're going to have to get back to the pits, make some changes, and then hopefully the weather doesn't get too much worse. But that is a real concern that, well, we just couldn't see Vettel there. That was quite amazing. But back to the pits, and hopefully we should be okay, as long as that doesn't happen again. Well, it seems the weather conditions are a lot better already. As you can see, it just seems a lot brighter in general. So hopefully we shouldn't hit any more cars going around the track, and we can definitely take that corner a lot quicker already. So the time we need to get through to the next session, at least at the moment, is a 2:06.5. Kevin Magnussen on the brink of going out. Adrian Suttle, top of the pile. Oh dear. The usual suspects though in there at the moment, but I guess it could all change, especially if the track gets a lot drier. So this Q1 session could be very interesting. A few guys in the pits, maybe going on to the intermediates, possibly. I don't think it is time for that yet. Vettel's out actually in the session, but probably because we whacked him in the back, presumably. But he should be okay. Again, as long as he doesn't go to intermediates, Vettel should be through. But again, let's focus on number 1 before we worry about anybody else. Let's get a lap time that's good enough to get through. Well, there seems to be a glitch with the timing board, so I've got absolutely no idea what our pace is like in those first 2 sectors. So we've got a 2:06 still to beat from Kevin Magnussen. I don't know how close it's going to be. Let's see what our lap time's going to be. So coming around the last 2 corners now, and we should be okay. You'd think from where we are on the circuit we'd beat a 2:06, but you just never know. That was a shocking entry there. But oh yeah, we should beat a 2:06 easily. So coming around the last corner, power down. It's a 2:01.8. That is a second faster than what anybody else has set so far. It makes me think that everybody went out fairly early on and set their lap times, and that the circuit has improved. But as you can see, pretty much everybody is still in the pits apart from one driver. Oh dear. Suttle's come out in the intermediates. Is that going to be a problem for us? Everybody's going to come out in the inters now. Well, that's a worry. Vettel is out of the session, remember. He cannot come out onto the circuit, so at least we've got Vettel as a bit of a buffer. If we go out of the session, it's going to be like a conspiracy theory now. We hit Vettel to make sure he went out, but we've got the fuel to do more laps on the wet, so you would think with the circuit improving that the wets would improve as well. But this is fascinating. We could be out of Q1 if the track improves so massively. Well, we're 2 seconds down in the second sector, which is bizarre, because the lap's not been that bad. But as you can see, I mean, by the time we've come into the pits, if we come into the pits this lap, that would be, and change tyres, it just wouldn't be enough time to get round. So I'm hoping that next lap will be better, but to be honest, we're not going to improve now. So we might as well go for it. There's no way we're going to have time, but I guess you just never know. If we just completely speed it round. But there are a few cars still left in the pits, so it looks like we should be safe. And we're not going to have time to get back out there again, so there's no point rushing to get it back out there. By the time they've wheeled me in, we're going to have sort of, what, about 1 minute 40 to go, really. But this is going to be interesting now. We've set our lap time. It's top of the pile for the moment, but the track is definitely getting better. That's proven by the wets being completely off the pace. So, let's see. I mean, I wouldn't have thought from the conditions earlier that it would have been inters by the end, but clearly it is. And we still lead for the moment. So everyone's starting their laps. Everybody in the pits... everyone out on track apart from myself, Roman Grosjean, obviously Vettel, and Grosjean's now out, but that's a bit of a waste of time. That late on. I'm just saying, is anybody setting anything that's fantastic at the moment? I don't know. Nico Hulkenberg, the first one to set a lap time, so he's gone into P1 8 tenths quicker. I'd suggest that by that, we should be safe. And luckily we do. Just about P4. Nobody had any time to set a lap time, but we got away with it a little bit there. So Daniel Ricciardo leads the session. Not Rosberg second, Hulkenberg third, ourselves fourth, and Adrian Suttle in fifth. And it's Felipe Massa and Kevin Magnussen and Sergio Perez, who all drop out. Could you believe that? I mean, Fernando wasn't far off going out, you know. Kamui Kobayashi goes out and gets out of that in P13. Wow, fair play to him. But Williams and McLaren and Force India all out in Q1. I mean, to be fair, Max Chilton nearly beat Sergio Perez, but Jules Bianchi and Marcus Ericsson way off the pace. But that is an interesting qualifying session. So, Q2. Let's see how it goes. Well, can you believe this? It's dry. The suggestion we put the dries on, I feel like we'd get out there straight away because it's going to be one of those sessions where it could well go wet again. If the chance of rain is 95%, it could start dropping fairly soon. So get the lap times in while we can. I just cannot believe in a 20-minute space of time that it's gone to this dryness. But I would think that it would start raining very, very soon. So, well, it's a race against time. No mucking about, no slowing down to get the tyres ready. We just need to get a lap, however scrappy here, and hope that 15 other drivers don't, I suppose. But P11 is our qualifying objective, which is interesting. So they're, I suppose, saving us in case we don't go out unless we get out. I'm saying two contrasting statements here. If we go out in Q2, the team are okay with that. That's what I was trying to say. But there's Alonso right on the racing line. I mean, come on, Fernando, get out the way, son. But finally, Eau Rouge flat. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Right, so let's set a lap time and see where that leaves us. Well, no rain clouds at the moment, but by 95% chance, you tend to think that that's going to come fairly soon, but it doesn't seem like it at the moment. We've set our bank lap. The only driver until Hulkenberg and Suttle have just put times in set a lap. I mean, we're nearly 4/10 off on this occasion. It just amazes me how you can be that amount of time off in the sector, but no idea what's going on there. And we've gone off. That's not the best. Jesus Christ, that was... well, that's a write-off, but Rosberg and Vettel have both gone quicker than us by a second. We're just going to slow down now and make sure we can do another lap, because that was a disaster. I mean, we're all over the place here. But Rosberg and Vettel are the pace setters. Ricciardo also goes ahead of us. I don't think we're going to drop out the top 10. That's okay. Well, as long as the rain doesn't come anytime soon. But let's see how this pans out, I suppose. Rosberg, though, the pace setter at the moment. Well, we're okay at the moment, and I think we probably will be. The rain still hasn't come amazingly, which is a bit of a shock. And we're in P8 at the moment. Quite a way off the pace, but I'm not too fussed about that, really. We've got a lap in. I mean, Romain Grosjean, to be fair to him, might well be the lucky one who gets through to Q3. That'd be an outstanding effort. Kobayashi way off the pace, no surprise there. But Grosjean has been bumped out by Daniel Kvyat and Jean-Eric Vergne. Daniel Kvyat, the man through at the moment. I think we're going to be safe, though. Looks like it, and, well, that rain never did come, so 95%, well, it was just the 5% that it didn't rain. And Daniel Kvyat in the Toro Rosso is the man who gets through. That is very interesting. Kobayashi, though, drops out, no surprise there. Both the Lotus drivers, the two Saubers, and Jean-Eric Vergne. But Daniel Kvyat's through, as well as the two Mercedes, two Red Bulls, two Ferraris, a Williams, a Force India, and a McLaren. And should be dry for this next session again, you would have thought, but let's see how it pans out. It feels like this qualifying session has got a bit more to offer just yet. So it's dry again in Q3. We'll watch out for the rain. There's a 25% chance of rain. You never know whether it can come. But we're going to continue with our normal strategy in a Q3 session, which is to go for 2 hot laps now, wait a bit, and then go for the final flying lap a little bit later on in the session. But if it does start raining, then these 2 laps will be the only ones we've got. So we've got to push. We can't be complacent. Hopefully, we'll be somewhere in the top 6 on the grid. So our first banker lap in Q3 was a 51.5. That's beat everybody else, but because everybody else starts to go a little bit slower for some reason on that first lap. But Vettel has beaten us with, what's that going to be? Is it going to be an absolute whopper that we can't beat? It's not going to say for some reason at the moment. But a 50.6, sorry, nearly a second up on our lap time. So perhaps it's not going to be so easy to beat that. But that was a very good sector 1. 2.5 tenths up on what we've done before. Alonso also displaced us. So we've got a bit of work to do. I think it's in this second sector where we're losing a little bit of time. So we've got to work on that. And hopefully we'll do something this lap. But this is the last of our laps in this in this run. So we'll have to see how we get on here. And then it looks like the rain isn't going to come. So we might well get one more chance perhaps after this. But this has got to still be a good lap. So what's our second lap going to be? We're going to be a little bit low on time actually to get back to the pits after this. But I don't think it's going to be an improvement, or much of one anyway. At least it's an improvement of 2.5 tenths, which is, to be fair, within 6 tenths of the time that Sebastian Vettel has set. But we still need to improve by about 3 tenths to get to Fernando. But it's a race against time to get back to the pits now, get some new tyres on, and get out there for one last flying lap. Well, somehow, I don't think it's going to be pole position today. Hamilton with an absolute blinder of 49.5. We're actually up on the first sector. We've got a purple first sector, but we're over a second down in sector 2, so not sure what's going on there. Valtteri Bottas and Jenson Button, the two drivers, were between at the moment. But P8 is where we are at the moment. We've got one more lap. A lot of the drivers are coming in, so a lot of the drivers have done to say the grid's going to be. And we've got minimal fuel on. One more lap. Can we improve our position at all? Well, this doesn't look too bad. We're 4 tenths up in sector 2, so this could give us a chance to go up the grid at least slightly. I don't know what the other lap times of anybody else are. So we'll have to see how we get on. Coming through the last few corners now. It's Blanchimont coming up to the bus stop chicane. The last two corners of the track. And there's the dog in the background, if you could hear over the engine noise. Come on, power out of this corner. DRS, get right up to the line. What's it going to be? A 50.8, which doesn't improve our position. Well, it was going to be tough anyway, wasn't it, from where we were? 51.3 was it in the end, I think we were at. So, it was going to be tough, and we qualified down in P8. So, Alonso out-qualifies us again, but it's Lewis Hamilton on pole. Rosberg in second, and a blinding lap from Daniel Ricciardo to get him up to third place. It looks like it's going to be Mercedes domination this weekend. Vettel in fourth, Alonso fifth. A great qualifying from both Hülkenberg and Bottas. We start in eighth with our Brit compatriot Button just behind us, and Daniel Kvyat completes the top 10. So let's go for the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix. Hamilton again ahead of Rosberg. We've heard that a lot. Rosberg has got a lot to gain. Can it start today with a race victory in front of his teammate? The problem for Rosberg is that it's not just him who's got to beat his teammate now. He's got to have quite a few drivers backing him up. The lights are on above the drivers. The second half of this 2014 season is about to start. And we are away for the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix. A good start. Rosberg already on the defensive. And we're going to go on the outside line in the end for the corner. Just try and dart through where we can. We're aware of our start in the last Grand Prix, but Rosberg's had an absolute disaster. He's dropped down to third, and the Red Bull of Daniel Ricciardo is battling for the lead with Lewis Hamilton coming up to Eau Rouge. They go two abreast through that corner, but Ricciardo has to yield in the end, and Jesus Christ, we nearly hit Vettel for the second time of the weekend. Alonso and Rosberg are dicing for position, but just look at the slipstream we've got on the Mercedes driver. He's having an absolutely terrible start. I'm going to go up the inside of our teammate once again. Daniel Ricciardo as well, struggling behind Lewis Hamilton. And we're up to third place. What a brilliant start that is. And Ricciardo on the outside, on the inside there, does absolutely nothing to defend. We've had an absolute blinding start right behind Lewis Hamilton, and we're going to pretty much help our compatriot pull away now because we haven't got the pace to be in second. But a lot of drivers just left the door open. I mean, Ricciardo was kind of out of shape. The same could be said for Sebastian Vettel. Alonso and Rosberg were dicing, but nobody was really committing to anything there. And an absolute disastrous start for Nico Rosberg. He's down to 5th place from second, so no surprise his championship charge is going completely belly up. That'll be another 15 points lost to Lewis Hamilton, so with 200 left, Hamilton would have the lead of 86 points on his teammate. Quite incredible. He'd only need about 100 points from there. That is quite mind-blowing, really, how Hamilton has started to run away with his championship. And well, Rosberg needed drivers to beat Hamilton. It seems that it's the other way around. If Rosberg was first and Hamilton was down in 5th, that'd be fantastic for him. But I'll tell you what's more fantastic. The fact that we've recovered from 8th on the grid up to 2nd place. That is an absolutely fantastic start. I mean, we were never going to get past both of the leaders. That was never going to happen. And to be honest, I thought that, especially up at Eau Rouge on lap 1, that it was going to be Daniel Ricciardo who led the race coming into lap 2. But Lewis Hamilton has already got a lead of 2.2 seconds on the rest of the field. We're in second. A great start from Fernando as well. He's up to P4. We've got Ricciardo in third. And I'd guess that, well, no, he's not. Sebastian Vettel is not in 6th place. It's the Williams, I would guess, of Valtteri Bottas. And, well, Vettel's not even in 6th. He must have got really out of shape. Down to 8th place at the start. It's absolutely fascinating. But we're going to have to do a little bit of worrying because it's a lot of slipstream behind us that could be coming now. But Daniel Ricciardo's right behind us. Not going to challenge us for the moment, I don't think, because the AI on F1 2014 don't tend to challenge unless you really go off the track. But this is a brilliant start for us. Let's see if we can keep it up. Well, there's been some scrapping behind us, and Daniel Ricciardo has fell behind both Fernando and Rosberg. What a great start that is for our team. Both of our drivers on the podium. Red Bull are faltering today. It's almost like the reverse of what happened in Hungary. But Lewis Hamilton is already off into the distance. He's pretty much got this race tied up. I mean, 4 wins in 7. His teammate, none. That just shows how dominant Lewis has been this year. Rosberg, even when, you know, we've won races, Ricciardo's won races, he's not really been there. Lewis Hamilton must have a very good competitive record against his teammate this year and would be fully deserving of the championship whenever he gets it, because it's got to be if rather than when, surely now. But this battle for second is going to intensify because Rosberg is going to lose some points, hopefully at least, to myself and Fernando today, although the Mercedes are really good round this circuit. That's proven by the gap that Lewis Hamilton has pulled out. So particularly in the pit stop phase, it's going to be tricky to keep Rosberg behind. But this battle for second in the championship is really going to start intensifying. Alonso and Rosberg battling behind, so that gives us a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a gap. Rosberg going for it up the inside, but I don't think he'll commit to that move. But Lewis is, as I say, nearly 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. You would imagine that he's got this pretty much wrapped up, as he does with the title. Lap 5 is pit stop lap then. I've just checked the race director and Sebastian Vettel's actually recovered fantastically. He's up to P5. He's got past his teammate and the other two that he was behind, Valtteri Bottas and Nico Hülkenberg, recovered to P5. That is an absolute blinder from Sebastian Vettel to get back there. But as you can see, Hamilton has completely checked out at the front. Within 5 laps, he's 11 seconds clear of the field. Alonso is begging to get through, and he'll be able to get through after this corner because we'll be coming into the pits. And unfortunately, I think we might well lose a little bit of ground in the pit stops because we don't deserve to be up here in P2. We haven't really got the pace, but we're not really being challenged from behind at the same time. So Rosberg and Fernando carry on. Sebastian Vettel comes in, which means that Daniel Ricciardo will carry on. As you can see, the gap that Hamilton's got, he's already coming out of the pits. So let's see what traffic, if any, we're left in. We shouldn't be any problem of being held up here. Yeah, we're out straight away. Absolutely fine. I think Vettel's actually been held up a little bit there. But let's see if we're going to have any traffic coming out of the pits. There's Felipe Massa. Actually, Kevin Magnussen, sorry. Can we get out ahead of him? Looks like we can. Obviously, we get the jump. The first corner's a lot tighter because of coming out of the pit lane. And we're doing okay, actually. P6 is very solid. We know that there's 3 guys to come in. We'll jump for Ricciardo, definitely. But it's just a case of can we jump and get past again. Alonso and Rosberg are going to be pushing like absolute hell this lap, but I'll check back in with you at the end of the lap when the pit stops occur. Here we go then. We should be expecting Bottas, Ricciardo, Rosberg and Alonso to all pit. Obviously Lewis Hamilton has got that front spot. It's not the best way to enter that last corner. As you can see, all the drivers are up ahead, and I think Alonso and Rosberg have come out of their pit boxes. So are we going to get ahead of them or not? We're going to be ahead of them for the moment, but we need a good run out of this first corner. Let's not focus on where they are because that's not going to help us at all. Where are they? Alonso's alongside us, but we've got out ahead. Whew, I was thinking that we wouldn't there. I thought those two would jump us, so we've played an absolute blinder to, if anything, actually extend the gap to those guys behind. So we should be safe in second for the rest of this race. I understand not the most exciting of Grand Prix, but sometimes you just need races like this where it's a solid race. I mean, 18 points for us would be absolutely fantastic. Again, a double podium would be brilliant for the team as well. And Hamilton, he's come back a little bit, to be fair. 10.5 seconds is the gap. And I think we've 5 laps to go. We should be able to defend from the possibility of Alonso and Rosberg going ahead behind. But if Rosberg is at threat of going ahead of Alonso, I don't mind letting Alonso through and then trying to defend from Rosberg. That's something I'm willing to do. I've just seen something on the mini-map which worries me. Look at this. Not again. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. I thought at first that I was going to say Hamilton, Rosberg, any name under the sun, had ran wide because we've run him off, potentially. He was closer than I thought. But that's not any just running wide. There's a puff of smoke from Fernando's engine. And it seems, for 2 races in a row, that Alonso's going to be out of engine trouble, and that confirms it. Well, can you believe it? 2 retirements in 2 for Fernando. This is going to crush the Constructors' battle. It's going to massively crush it. I mean, we can get 18 points here, sure. Red Bull are only going to gain 4 points, which isn't terrible, but just imagine how we could have bought it back. I mean, Hamilton's going to be a bit gutted because Rosberg was down in 5th and now he's 3rd. Oh, man. One man hope then now. Alonso out with engine trouble for the 2nd race in a row. Unbelievable. 2 laps to go now, and Nico Rosberg has been right on my back all of the last lap. Of course, beforehand we had the buffer, Fernando Alonso, between myself and Rosberg, and it's clear from the gap of Hamilton that the Mercedes car is far superior around this circuit than we are. So Rosberg is right behind me, but we managed to keep him off for the moment. Unless we go off the circuit, we should be able to keep this P2. Just absolutely gutted that Fernando couldn't get P3. That would have been absolutely fantastic. A huge bolstering of points for the team. That would be brilliant. We did cut that corner there a little bit, so apologies on my part. But Rosberg is right behind us. We're going to stay on the outside line. He's going to go on the attack. He's going to have to push our accelerator down as much as possible. But the DRS just isn't enough for him to make a move up the inside. We did pretty well actually there. We outbraked him and he could have got through. You know, the DRS does make a difference, but Rosberg has bailed out on that occasion. I think probably to cool his tyres down and not to suffer the dirty air effect and possibly come back on the next lap. It's going to be a good result today for Nico Hulkenberg in the Force India. He's in 6th at the moment. Both McLaren's in the points as well, and both of the Williams cars, so good for them. But obviously they benefit from the retirement of Fernando, which I'm still absolutely gutted about. Rosberg has come back for more this time. He's about the same distance away. Can he get the position with DRS? Just going to have to put the accelerator on as much as possible. He's not quite alongside us, but he's fairly close. He's going to go for it into the corner. He is, but we're going to block him off. Wasn't too convincing there, was Rosberg. And, well, if he wants this championship, he's going to have to fight a lot harder than that. So it looks like that's the last real overtaking opportunity, unless we make a mistake. And Hamilton is going to gain another 10 points on his teammate in this championship battle. That puts him 81 points ahead of Nico with 200 left. You do the maths, he needs just under 120 points. Rosberg's not going to beat him in every race, so we'll say roughly he needs 100 points. That's 4 more race wins. Rosberg tagged us in the back. Luckily, that didn't end in any crash or anything, so that was quite lucky. But Rosberg very close there coming into P1. But a great race, a great recovery from our last race in Hungary. Good recovery from Hungary. There's a rhyme there to be had. But I'm just chuffed. I really am just chuffed for myself. Gutted for the team because a podium for Fernando as well would have really helped our cause in the constructors against Red Bull. But we still do have a modest result against them. I mean, they do gain 4 points on us, 12 points and 10 points. And as you can see, Lewis Hamilton wins the race. That's his 2nd consecutive. That's now 4 in 7. As I said, Rico Rosberg, 0 in the last 7. But we come around the last 2 corners. Rosberg's been on our back for the last few laps, but can't make it count. It's a brilliant result for us. Not quite the race win today to go with the theme that's happened in the last 6, but nonetheless, it's a cracker. And we have finished in 2nd place. Just to split the Mercedes on a day like today is a real result. But, yeah, that's a real shame. I mean, Fernando, real shame. Real shame. But Lewis Hamilton wins. He was, well, the pace of the field. I mean, Ricciardo set an impressive lap to do a 52.2. Rosberg's pace actually wasn't too brilliant in the end. And even Ricciardo couldn't come in within a second of Lewis Hamilton, who set the fastest lap. He absolutely bossed that. But we do now go back into 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. It seems our engineer's quite ecstatic about that. And we have a serious chance, if we keep this up and stop being so inconsistent, of being 2nd in the championship come the end of the season. Obviously, we move ahead of Ricciardo because of the race wins we've had. We're level on points with Daniel now. Sebastian Vettel is 100 behind Lewis Hamilton, 5 behind Daniel. And with 2 retirements in the last 2 races, Fernando's battle with any of the 3 drivers above him is starting to slip away. But only 19 points now between Rosberg and Vettel in 5th. Going to be a very interesting one coming up to the end of the season. And of course, the next race is the Italian Grand Prix, so I'll have a lot of support behind us there. We're 27 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors' battle. As you can see, Mercedes are absolutely running away with it. Williams, now in 4th, feel like Force India was still there in the last race. And McLaren doing decently. Soros over 11 points. Sauber and Lotus still with 4. And Keita and Marussia still yet to score any points. Great result. I think this is the first time we've finished as run-up. But fair play to Lewis. Good result for him. He absolutely bossed this weekend. From qualifying to the race, it was fantastic. Rosberg surely will be disappointed. It's going to be us this time. Not Lewis. It's going to be us for the first time to just say congratulations to our compatriot for an absolutely fantastic weekend. And what a result that is for us. Great drive from Lewis. That was just commanding. Nobody could beat him. His pace was just quite unbelievable. And next time out, it is, of course, the team's home race. Can't wait for that. So, let's have a look at our emails before we go. What have they got to say? Race information. Oh, look at that for Sunday. Look at that for Sunday. Rain, rain, rain. Oh, fascinating. God, 4th podium this year. That's the first podium we've actually got without winning. We've got to select a rival. Okay. I remember this from in the past. So, Obviously, we're not going to select Lewis. That's going to be really harsh. I feel like going and selected. I tell you what, we're going to go for it. We're going to select Nico Rosberg as our rival because he is really starting to falter now in this championship battle against Lewis. And I do believe that we can go and beat Nico Rosberg. I mean, imagine that, finishing second in the championship. Knowing that Mercedes have got such a dominant car, that would be mighty impressive. But next time round, it is the Italian Grand Prix. I look forward to that so much. What a cracking circuit Monza is. And if you guys looking forward to it too, make sure to leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for 2 videos of Formula 1 a week on a Tuesday and on a Saturday. But until the next time, thank you very much for your company. Remember to continue to stay safe and take care during these troubled times. And I hope this video has brought you a little bit of entertainment. But until the next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye for now.